Hello and a warm welcome everyone, it's Penny here. It's been a while since I made a video, but here I am, so let's get started. This is an old book cover that I had in my stash. I wanted to try to make a soft spine. I don't think I've made a soft spine before, so here I'm cutting out the original spine. And I'll keep that and use it somehow. I might make a belly band or something out of it. The journal I'm creating is a kind of mixture between a junk journal and an art journal. So here I'm just tearing the paper out there, and I'll put that to the side and use it later. So I'm just trimming off the edges there to tidy them up a bit. And I wasn't really sure at this stage whether I was going to leave the cover as it was or whether I was going to use some cotton. These are pieces that I've jelly printed. And so I'm going through these pieces I do need a piece for my spine. But I was just thinking, shall I use some of these for my cover? But in the end I decided no, that I wouldn't. I love that pink. I left that one as it was because I was so happy with the colour. This one didn't turn out so well, but also love the blues on here. It gives me a kind of Monet feel, lily ponds. Beautiful colours, and I was experimenting and trying to create a landscape on the jelly print plate. So that one there was kind of water and rushes, and this one was a field of flowers. I was happy how they turned out. So I do decide that I'm going to paint the cover, so I'm putting on a layer of gesso, and I actually do put on 2 layers of gesso. Now I'm going to add my colours. So I'm going to use autumnal colours. So I've got, these are my golden paints, and I'm using burnt sienna, benzimidazolone yellow and yellow ochre, and mixing them on the cover as I go. So first of all I use a flat brush to mix the colours, and for the second layer I use a makeup brush because I didn't want to have the brush strokes on there. I love the autumnal tones on here. Very much reminds me of the leaves falling off the trees. These colours mix beautifully together. So I'm adding the second layer here, and I have no idea why, but for some reason when I was using the makeup sponge some of the blue came through the, came through, and it turned out to be a happy accident because I liked the distressed look that it gave, and also I liked the fact that the blue, the original colour of the book cover was visible. So now I'm going to use this Amazon packaging paper to make a base for the spine. I'm just measuring and cutting it to size. And I cut it a little bit too big, so now I'm going to trim it down. It wouldn't tear, so I'm using the scissors. And now I'm going to choose a piece of cotton. These are obviously too small, and I end up using the piece that I really don't like. This was a handkerchief, and it was too thin because I could see the packaging through the cotton, so that was no good. Although I could have painted the packaging. So I decided to use this piece, which is very muddy, didn't turn out very well, and I doodled a little bit on it with a white acrylic pen, and I used it in the end because I thought, well, you're not going to see much of it, so why waste a good piece? Which isn't really the attitude I should have. But anyway, that's what I did. Here I'm going to use that muddy piece on the inside. Actually, when I put the signatures in, I do paint that red, so it isn't muddy anymore. But anyway, so I try out the blue to see what it looks like, and I thought that was a waste because I do love that piece of blue cotton, and I wanted to keep that for something else. So I'm just measuring here the spine, so I think it's about 2 inches that I've measured. And then I trim down the piece of cotton and glue the cotton onto the packaging paper, and then in turn I glue the cover onto the packaging paper, leaving a 2-inch spine there. I'm using PVA glue. I find that it works really well. So after I've done this, I put a couple of books on the top to keep it flat and then leave it to dry. My next step is to choose papers for the signatures. So these here are watercolour papers that I jelly printed on. I'm experimenting with some retro colours there. Using circles and masks and my handmade stencils and masks. Then these papers are from my stash. Some of them are from old journals that I'm recycling. I'm just going through, choosing which papers to use. These are tea dyed, I think. Some may be coffee dyed, some may be tea dyed. There's a variety of different papers. I've got printer paper, brown packaging paper, some sketch paper. I think that's it. So these pieces here are just pieces of paper that I've cleaned my brushes and brayers off on. So I thought I may use those for pockets and tuck spots and things like that. And I decided for the inside cover, I had these pieces of book pages in my stash where I'd cleaned my stencils, and I really liked those, so I thought they'd be nice on the inside cover. And my spine is looking okay. So I'm just folding my papers now for my signatures. I intend to use the watercolour paper as the first page of my signature. So now the music paper and the ledger paper were a bit too big for the signatures, so I'm just cutting them down to size. And then I use a piece of the paper to fix, the two pages together. I should have used some cotton, really. That would have been better and more aesthetically pleasing, but I didn't think of it at the time, and I just used the paper. So at first I had 3 signatures, and there were too many pages. I think I had 12 and 11 and 11. So I decided that I would make 4 signatures instead. So I just put all the papers together, and now I'm dividing them into 4. So I'm just putting my last signature together here, and then all 4 signatures are done, and I'm happy with those. Just putting them in the order that I want them to be. And now I'm just making sure that they fit into the cover, and if they do. The ledger paper and the music paper do stick out of the cover, but I don't mind that. I'm quite happy with that. So I did sew the signatures off camera, into the cover off camera, using the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Very simple, and I used embroidery thread for that. I think I used kind of a golden thread and a green thread. That's just a piece of cotton that I put in there. Just going through the pages, making sure everything is okay. As you can see, I've painted the spine red there. I used the raspberry red because I didn't like the muddy brown. So I have some gauze there that I'm going to add to the cover. This is a piece of cotton that I've glued on some tea bags, and I stamped the tea bags with various stamps, some leaves and some scripts. And here I'm just showing you the tea bags, and that I've stamped a whole load of them. I had lots of fun doing that. I love using tea bags. They're really good. While I was looking through these tea bags, I found one with an oak leaf on, and I took that one out because I thought it would be nice on the cover. It's always useful to have a tub full of tea bags. You never know when they're going to come in useful. So I'm using some fabric glue to glue the gauze onto the back of the cotton there. I had sprayed the cotton with some acrylic inks, but I went a bit over the top and then accidentally used black, which I didn't like, so that's when the idea of the tea bags came to me. So now I'm going to stick or glue on the cotton on the outside of the spine, on the cover. I'm using the fabric glue again here. There's a couple of stickers on the cover there that you can see that had been on my desk, and I just stuck them on, but I don't think you're going to be able to see them once I've put glued my tea bags and cotton on. So there you can see that I've glued the gauze on so that it's poking out of the cotton there. Tea bags are very strong, so they're good to use for on the spine. I'm putting quite a lot of glue on there to make sure that it all sticks down. Doing the same on the other side. I love how that looks. It's quite effective, I think. I do like strong teas, so my tea bags are a little bit dark, so maybe I should have used maybe some white for the stamping, but it's fine. And now I'm decorating the cover, so I'm adding a little bit more, I think this is a bit more gauze that I've kind of torn in it. It could be threads, I'm not quite sure. Then I've got my tea bag there with my oak leaf stamped on it. And the last thing I add is a little branch. I've been using that branch for my jelly printing, so I'm going to have to find another one now. I've had it for ages, but I just thought it would look nice on the cover. With those pieces there, that's packaging paper that I've used lots of scraps on and just glued the scraps on. And what I do is I actually glue on those pieces of packaging paper with the scraps to the pages that are sticking out. So here I've added some photographs, so you can see there those scraps that I've glued onto the pages. So now the pages that are sticking out from the book become a bit more of a nice feature. So that'll be it for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and for spending time with me today. I hope to see you very soon. Take care of yourselves. Till the next time.